Today is the last bass clarinet and marimba episode. Again, Transient Canvas, Boston-based group. This piece is by Tina Tallon. It's called Dirty Water. She wrote it in 2014 and revised it in 2015. The score I have, at least, has no front matter, and it's in landscape with bass clarinet staff slightly smaller, kind of like a piano score, but the piano is marimba. And yeah, it looks fairly complex, leaping all over the registers of both instruments. I think I met Tina briefly at the International Computer Music Conference in Boston. Okay, so Tina is a creative technologist, composer, engineer, and technocultural historian, interested in artificial intelligence and its influence on society. She received her PhD in composition from the University of California, San Diego in 2020, and she currently is assistant professor of AI and music composition at the Ohio State University School of Music. I think I saw that job posting actually. So yeah, American schools, more and more of them are offering like new media and AI, music and AI, like types of courses. And yeah, it's interesting to see who is going in that direction. Lots of people are jumping on the AI train, honestly, and there's clearly jobs in it. So her concert music and interactive installations have been widely performed and presented by ensembles. So here she lists the LA Phil New Music Group, Ensemble Intercontemporain, Talea Ensemble, and she lists a few venues here. All of this stuff is very, seems very separate from this piece, which is just doesn't seem to involve AI or technology at all. It's just a very straightforward chamber music piece. Her bachelor's was a degree in biological engineering and music from MIT in 2011, and her master's of fine arts was just a straightforward music comp, minoring in theory, or maybe double majoring from Brandeis University. Yeah, her trajectory is like actually not like she's not that much older than me, it seems, like kind of entering her bachelor's 4 years before I started mine, or 5 years before I started mine. Her primary composition teachers include Peter Child, David Rakowski, Lei Liang, sorry. She's also studied with Miller Puckett and Tom Erb. Yeah, her website is very nicely laid out. A lot of pieces here, actually. A lot of like about as much large ensemble as solo on the website, and then a ton of chamber stuff. And a lot of these are commissions. Electronic music is also pretty huge. Video installations and sound art. I like that as a category, but there's only three pieces here. So yeah, a lot of her writing. So her research is published in more like I guess popular media. Like these don't seem to be peer-reviewed journals, but you have a couple radio stations, NPR, the New York Times, or sorry, and the New Yorker and Politico, all these various outlets. She's been able to lecture on them or publish articles. And maybe I should read up on this piece specifically to see what the nature of that was. What does this have to do with her current research? It's the first piece of hers performed in Boston since she left for UCSD to do her PhD. It's inspired by, I guess, a hit song by the Strandals of the same name. And we got a nice bio here as well, which is maybe a bit more dated. And yeah, this program note seems to be really focused on the city of Boston Amy and Matt's work there and the significance of this commission on her career kind of thing, which is kind of a nice sentiment. So, um, link to this video or recording rather is in the video description. I encourage you to listen to this piece. It's actually on the shorter side, like 6 minutes. Um, and then I might say something about this whole series at the end, and maybe we'll spin the wheel and figure out what the next genre is that we're going to tackle. Yeah, so it's a interesting piece. It kind of has a nice form where we have a nice middle section here where it gets quiet and we just have tremolos and things. Um, really inventive use of silence. That was something I noticed immediately. Um, and also this sort of like leaping around in and out of each other's ranges. It actually really works well with this ensemble just because the two instruments are so easily identifiable, right? They just have such different different like envelopes or you know, it's very easy. There's no risk of anything blending together, you know. Yeah, my thoughts on the bass clarinet marimba series. This one I was a little bit hesitant to do just because it's all kind of it all attests to the work of one ensemble. But I think that's kind of a unique window into what contemporary music actually looks like in the US, right? It's like there's a lot of these independent ensembles, and I'm increasingly seeing more and more of them are just duos, commissioning works, you know, being resident ensembles at this or that university. That's kind of just the way it is in the States. And if you're lucky enough to live in a major metropolitan area, you might get a commission from an ensemble like this. New York, of course, is like full of them. And in Canada, like in Toronto, there were a number of ensembles like this, but the model's slightly different just because there's so much more government funding for ensembles. So you would get kind of like this old guard of ensembles that always get funding and can expect funding, and you know, all of them were established at a certain time, like the 90s or early 2000s. Um, in the US, it's a little bit, seems to be a little bit more like grassroots, start your own thing. And I think Transient Canvas has done a good job of that. They might have, they might be a nonprofit at this point or something. Hopefully, this piqued your interest and you liked at least one of these composers. Thought it was a great mix of male and female composers and a fairly diverse list of pieces, although they're kind of all clumped in the same like time range, like 2010s, 2020s. Maybe it also inspired you to write for that type of ensemble. Okay, so the next genre is going to be toy piano. Nice. So I definitely have more than three scores with recordings. Um, this is going to be a fun one. I was kind of obsessed with toy piano during the pandemic and amassed these scores at that time. And I don't know if I have the John Cage. Yeah, the whole genre started by, of course, John Cage's suite for toy piano way back in 1948. So it's kind of an interesting genre in that way, historically.